A remote Brazilian hilltop, late afternoon. Two dead men lie side by side, dressed in dark suits and raincoats. Strange metal goggles made of thin lead cover their eyes. There is no violence, only a cryptic note nearby. Two formally dressed male corpses, each wearing eye masks made of lead, police would report. On August 21st, 1966, atop Morro do Vintem outside Rio, this surreal scene became reality and the start of one of Brazil's strangest mysteries. An archival photograph labels the victims: electronics technicians Manoel Pereira de Cruz and Miguel José Viana. Both men were respectable family men from Campos dos Goitacazes. They vanished on August 17, 1966, telling their wives they were heading out of town to buy work supplies. Now they were found dead on a distant hill, miles from home. Autopsy findings were shocking. No cause of death could be determined. The bodies bore no obvious injuries, as if the men simply expired. The story of Miguel and Manoel's final day unfolds like a thriller. On August 17th, they took a bus into Niterói, Rio's neighbor city. There, they bought black waterproof coats and a bottle of water. A waitress later told police that Miguel seemed very nervous and kept checking his watch as if something was imminent. Another report noted he appeared anxious and glanced at the clock constantly. By 3:15 p.m., they were headed up Morro do Vintem. Some accounts even say they hitchhiked in a jeep as dusk approached. A map traces their path from Campos dos Goitacazes toward Morro do Vintem. Local police noted the men might have paused at a nearby spiritism center en route, suggesting a secretive purpose. That night, a neighbor named Gracinda reported seeing a strange orange oval with blue rays above the hill. The next morning, a boy who had been flying a kite, Jorge da Costa Alves, climbed the hill. He found the two men lying motionless on the ground. He assumed they were sleeping and ran to fetch help 2 days later when a putrid odor drove him back. When rescuers finally reached the site on August 21st, 1966, every clue deepened the mystery. The clearing held an empty water bottle and 2 wet towels, as if the men had poured water on their faces. In one jacket pocket lay a wedding ring and Miguel's watch. The other held bus tickets and some cash. But most unsettling were the 2 lead eye shields found on the ground next to them. Beside the masks was a handwritten note with puzzling instructions. It read, 16:30, be at specified place. 18:30, ingest capsules. After the effect, protect metals. Await signal mask. What did this mean? Police found no capsules or drugs on the men. The bottles and envelopes were empty. No toxicology tests were done because the bodies were already too decomposed at the time. This allowed legends to grow. Had the capsules been ingested and digested? If so, of what? The bodies had only faint traces of dried blood on their faces, but no wounds or struggle. It was as if they lay down and died on schedule. An extreme extraordinary investigation followed. Authorities in Rio and Brasilia even queried the military over a strange explosion at nearby Atafona Beach a few months earlier. Some suspected a link. Federal agents hunted every lead. Miguel's brother, Herval, later learned the official death certificates admitted, due to advanced decomposition, the cause of death is indeterminate. Even one autopsy report had been altered. The name of specialist Sebastião Faías was erased and replaced by other name, Walmor Gianni. It is speculated that Sebastião did not agree with the report, so he requested his name to be removed from it. The key witness turned out to be Elcio Correa Gomez, a 35-year-old electronics hobbyist and spiritist friend of the pair. Elcio freely admitted he had always been friends with both of them, and that he would take them to spiritism meetings to encounter benevolent spirits. He told investigators he helped them experiment with electronics and the occult. A few weeks before, he and the men had built a makeshift transmitter in Manoel's backyard, hoping to contact Mars. It blew up in a flash. He even described for police a June 1966 incident. Fishermen said a UFO crashed into the sea, accompanied by a blinding flash. To explain the masks, Elcio claimed they anticipated a bright, otherworldly light. "I have always been friends with both," Elcio said. "Manuel was going through a hard time. I took him to a few sessions at the Spiritism Center. When I said goodbye at the bus station, I was sure they were really going to São Paulo. From that day on, I know nothing more." Despite this, investigators searched Miguel's workshop. There they found lead scraps and shaping tools, enough to fashion the crude goggles. They also found a book on intense luminosity, suggesting why the men might shield their eyes. Still, no answer emerged. On August 26, 1966, a second pathologist, Dr. Alberto Ferra, reviewed the case and again concluded the cause of death was unknown. By then, Elcio's relevance had waned. A court freed him and he faded away. A coroner's report later noted the internal organs were simply discarded without examination. In short, after exhaustive inquiries, police could say only 2 men, 2 masks, and no explanation. Decades later, the lead masks case still resists a single answer. Theories range from plausible to fantastical. Some scientists and journalists suggest the simplest answer: accidental overdose. The note's timing, wet towels and water, and the 1960s setting point to a bad trip. One researcher summarized that the men were part of a group of scientific spiritualists contacting extraterrestrials with psychedelic capsules. They donned lead shields to protect against a supposed blinding light, then died of a simultaneous overconsumption when the capsules took effect. In fact, a Brazilian yoga instructor told Folha de São Paulo that the pair may have been on an LSD-fueled telepathic experiment. Other theories abound. Did smugglers use them as unwitting carriers of radioactive material? Yet scans later showed no radiation. Was it a double suicide or murder? Or a bizarre occult ritual, as famed debunker Father Quevedo once speculated by noting lead masks appear in some cult iconography, but still no further clarity. Without conclusive evidence, each hypothesis is just a clue in the dark. Notably, no poison or drug was ever confirmed because no toxicology test exists. All we have are the victim's notes and notebooks, full of valve codes and a curious last entry, Banzai scrawled on a scrap, and a stack of questions The case has inspired documentaries and podcasts, but no modern breakthrough has surfaced. The mystery endures. Why did Manoel and Miguel climb that hill, put on lead masks, and wait? As Manoel himself once said on the eve of the trip, "I'm going to watch a definite experiment. Then I will tell you if I believe in it or not." Today, 60 years later, the Brazilian lead masks case remains an unsolved enigma, a chilling footnote to an era of UFO fever and psychedelic exploration, where the line between science and the supernatural still blurs.